We'll get started right now with head coach Craig Appleby. The Blue Jay men's soccer team set to start their season Wednesday night when they take on Rowan here at Homewood Field. Coach, it's been 2 years since you've been out on the field with these guys playing against, or playing in a meaningful game, I should say. First off, before we kind of look ahead to the season, just kind of talk to me a little bit about the emotions of being able to get back out here, the excitement level that your guys have, and just how happy they are to be back together and getting ready to take on a strong Rowan team on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of felt a bit pent up and ready to get after it. Thankfully, Jim Baker, our AD, worked hard for us to get out in the spring, and that was very helpful for us to evaluate what our new guys could bring, or new guys from last year could bring to the team, and then piecing the puzzle together this fall is important to get out and understand what we have. But we certainly came with a lot of energy at the beginning, and it's a good group of guys, excited to be a part of this program. I'm excited to be a coach for this program, and the culture looks intact, the talent looks intact, so we're raring to go.
We'll start with two guys that will be back, and they've played a lot of soccer for you here, Tim Trinan and Xander Lefevre, who you have back as your goalkeeper this year. Talk to me a little bit about what you expect from them, not necessarily on the field, but their leadership that they've brought and how they've kind of kept the guys together and really done a great job of leading this program, leading this team through the off-season workouts and everything that you guys had to deal with as a team last year. Talk a little bit about them and their leadership abilities.
Well, extremely thankful that Xander was able to return and play for us, and both of them were captains, Tim and Xander, in 19. So my expectation is for them to just keep doing what they've been doing. I offer them a lot of autonomy to be leaders on the team, to be almost like assistant coaches for me, and they've done a great job. Maintaining the culture is very important for us, so that we don't have to deal with stuff off the field. That it's a tight family off the field, but they also know that to be successful, discipline has to be in place, and so we make sure that everybody understands that. So it's not that we're running around babysitting team members. We're actually just growing and learning how to become more and more successful, and Tim and Xander have done an excellent job for that. And so it's just keep doing what you do.
Coming off the 2019 Centennial Conference Tournament Championship, picked to finish first in the league again this year. How do you kind of handle those expectations and keep the guys grounded with so much ahead of them this year and a lot of expectations on this team?
Well, I mean, just because you pick first doesn't mean that's how you're going to end up. So it takes a lot of focus, it takes a lot of discipline and hard work to make sure that the goals that you set for the season become reality. And just because somebody, votes for you to be top doesn't mean that's going to happen. So we're excited about what we see on the field. We're excited about the classes that have come in and the talent that's there. But it's been a long time since we've been on the field, and there's two relatively new classes that are learning how to play our style, learning how to play our system. And I imagine everywhere you go, you can look at every soccer program, and I bet every coach is doing the same thing. Like, we're learning how to do this over. And so, we're excited about it, but we only care about the ranking at the very end of the season, and we are heavily focused on the Centennial Conference and being at the top of the Centennial Conference, and hopefully being back-to-back champs. We would greatly love that, but we also want to enter our name into the national stage as well. We feel like we have good talent. I feel like we're good, but I don't know if we're great, and we want to be great. So let's see if we can do that. But yeah, it's nice when other people vote you number one, but that doesn't mean anything until the end of the season.
And you kind of mentioned, those two classes. So you essentially have two freshman classes coming in, a freshman class and a sophomore class that haven't played in a regular season game at this point. Talk to us a little bit about some guys that you're expecting to step up from those two classes, and how much for the quote-unquote sophomore class that's in their sophomore year of eligibility, how important it was to at least be able to get them on the field in the spring and kind of get acclimated to, what a practice routine looks like, what a game routine looks like in those scrimmages that you had.
Well, there was a lot there, but I think instead of mentioning names, I think what excites me is that we're really impressed with the quality of both those classes. Over the course of the time I've been here at Hopkins, there's usually been freshmen that have come in that you can look at and say it's going to take some time before he finds some playing time. In this current freshman class, they're all going to get good minutes. Of the class before that, the current sophomore class, they're all going to get good minutes. So both those classes are tremendous, and we're excited about that. So to name one guy, I would be like rolling dice and go, well, he's going to do well, but I also think he's going to do well. So I think it's the collective classes that are really going to stand out in terms of our depth and how we're going to do.
And Craig, I'll leave you with this kind of question I like to ask a lot of coaches heading into the season, but Johns Hopkins men's soccer, we will be where we want to be at the end of the season if what has to happen?
If we continue to strive for excellence, we do a lot of things that are repetition, fun repetition, not robotic repetition, but fun repetition where we do a lot of rondos, a lot of technical work within those rondos. And sometimes we have to fight against the sleepwalking aspect of it. And so as long as we keep our brains working constantly, fighting through those repetitions, so that translates into the game as well, to make sure that we're not tuning out, that we're constantly thinking, constantly solving the puzzle that's presented in front of us. If we look back at 2019, we had an excellent season, but we got to the last game. Conn College threw a wrinkle. I just looked at the interview you had with me before we entered the Centennial Conference, and I was saying I'm sure somebody's going to throw us a wrinkle that we have to overcome, and Conn College did. And so we have to constantly be paying attention to what's going on. Our system gives us an out, but we have to know how to find that out, and that's important.
Awesome. Craig, thanks so much. Good luck this season.